Hello everyone, I am JYOTIPRAKASH. Welcome to SSC Monk channel. Today in this class, in this foundation series, we'll be learning all the basic concepts of ratio and proportion. So let's see what you all will be learning in this lecture. So in this lecture, we'll learn basics of ratio, proportion, compound ratio concept, dividing quantity concept, direct and inverse proportion concept, mean and third proportion concepts. So let's understand what is ratio and proportion. See, you might have come across questions, or you might have learned these things previously. It's a just brush of thing. What is ratio and proportion? Ratio means we are comparing two quantities, but proportion means we are comparing two ratios which are likely equal. Okay, so this is the base. Okay, now few terminologies that you need to understand, that you need to remember while solving these questions. I will be keeping each and everything really basics for your understanding. Okay, so first thing, in ratio, normally in general, okay, it will occur between two units. When we will be comparing ratios, or when we will be considering ratios, it will be all about two units. It may be rupees to rupees, or you can say meter to meter, or centimeter to centimeter, or gram to gram, like that. Okay, whether it is a distance or weight, whatever it is. Okay, first thing. Now the second thing, the ratio will always be written like this. For an example, x and y are two quantity and they both are in ratios, that is x is to y. Okay, so they will be written like this, and x will be known as, you need to remember this. It may be possible that in some questions this sort of language will be there, so you need to understand this. X will be known as antecedent, okay, and y will be known as consequent. Ante means whichever comes first, consequence means whichever comes after the first. Okay, now for an example, in some cases you will see like this: x is to y is to, for an example, y is to z, or z is to a, for an example. In this scenario, what will happen? In this scenario, as we all know, x and a, they both are in the extreme positions, right? So x and a will be known as the extremes. Okay, you just need to understand this language. Why I am telling you this language? It may sound silly right now, but these are really important, because questioner can make anything, okay, for examination. So you need to understand this. And y and z are known as the means. So that's the basic we are learning, and now we'll be start solving some questions, and we'll see how ratio proportion works out. And guys, ratio proportion is a chapter which weightage is really much in terms of examination and in terms of its utility. In other chapters like percentage, profit and loss, time and work, whether it is time, speed and distance, any chapter you take in arithmetic, there will be a implementation of ratio and proportion. So you need to understand, you need to have a clear concept over ratio and proportion through this lecture. Okay, now first thing, simplify the ratio of 36 is to 48 and express it in the simplest form. See, when it is written as the simplest form, how will we solve this? So 36 is to 48 will be written as 36 by 48. Now the simplest form means the shortest or the smallest version of this. Okay, so now what I do, if I divide 36 by 4, I will get 9. If I divide 36 by 4, I will get 12. Okay, now the second shortest version is 9 by 12. Now can this 9 by 12 be reduced again, or can this be reduced to a shorter version? Do 9 by 12 has a shorter version? Yes sir, 9 and 12 both can be divided by 3. So if I divide 9 by 3, I will get 3. If I divide 12 by 3, I will get 4. Now the second shortest version is what? 3 by 4. So sir, is there any shortest version to this? No. After this version, there is no shortest version possible. So what is the simplest form of 36 is to 48? It is 3 by 4, or we can write 3 is to 4. I hope this is clear now. Okay, so shortest or the simplest form means the shortest possible or the smallest possible ratio is known as the simplest form. Okay, so simplest form means smallest possible ratio. Okay, now next question. Sir, recipe calls for 300 gram of flour and 500 grams of sugar. What is the simplest form of the ratio of flour to sugar? See, it has written flour to sugar. So I will give you two examples. Okay, so flour to sugar, right? Yes, sir. So how much flour is there? Sir, 300 gram. How much sugar is there? Sir, 500 gram. So now I can write it as 300 divided by 500. Yes, sir. 0, 0 will cross out. Yes, sir. So the simplest form now is 3 by 5, because after 3 by 5, we can't make it shorter. Okay. Now, this is the thing. Now, if in this question it was written as sugar to flour, then what? If it is written as sugar to flour, then sugar will come first, then flour will come. Sugar 500 gram, flour 300 gram, 0, 0 will cross out. It will be 5 is to 3, or you can write it as 5 by 3. Okay. So this is the thing you need to understand what has been given in this particular question, what is being asked. Okay. Now, simplify 24 is to 36, 100, 152, 225. This is a homework for all of you. Okay. This is really simple. See, why I am starting from the basic, because once you are having a good grip over these things, whenever you will be solving questions, whether it is from installment or whether it is from mixture and allegation or percentage or profit and loss, you will know how to solve these questions. Okay, that's why these basics matter. Okay, now simplify the ratio 3 by 4 and 2 by 3. See, things is that 3 by 4 is to 2 by 3. So how you will be solving this? So first thing, what we'll be doing, so in this question it can be written as 3 by 4 divided by 2 by 3. You need to listen to this, you need to understand this point very carefully. So this whole thing can be written as 3 by 4 multiplied by 2. This 3 will come to the upper side, so it will come to the upper side. So now it is 3 multiplied by 3 is equal to 9, 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. So now the form is 9 is to 8. So now the question remains, can 9 by 8 be simplified, or can 9 by 8 be shortened? No, sir, there is nothing we can do about this form. Okay, so the simplify, if I simplify the ratio 3 by 4 is to 2 by 3, we'll get 9 by 8. Okay, now let's solve one more question. Here it is given, sir, simplify 6 by 7 is to 8 by 11. Same formula. What we'll be doing, this step I am using for your understanding. Okay, once you are having very clear understanding about this step, you should skip this step and directly proceed with the next step. Okay, so it will be written as this, and it can written as 6 by 7 multiplied by 7 will multiplied with 8, 11 will be multiplied with 6. So it is 6 into 11 by 7 into 8. Now we can cross out here. See how? Sir, 11, 7 we can't do anything about it, but 6 and 8, these both things can be divided by 2. So if I divide 6 by 2, I will get 3, and if I divide 8 by 2, I will get 4. Now is there any possibility that we can cross out these numbers? No, sir. So now the ratio will be 11 is into, or 11 multiplied by 3, that is 33, divided by 7 multiplied by 4, that is 28. So my new form, or the simplified version of this ratio is 33 is to 28. Now can we shorten this? No, sir, we can't shorten this. So this is the final answer, or we can write it as 33 is to 28. Okay, so now we have learned that how to simplify a ratio. Okay, next question. Now we'll be learning how to compare the ratios. Now we'll be comparing how to compare the ratios. See, first ratio is given as 5 is to 8 and I can write it as 5 by 8. Second ratio is given as 3 is to 4. So I can write it as 3 is to 4. So there are two ways. There are two ways to compare it. Okay. So the first way is to compare that two ways. Okay. First, find out the percentage, and the second part is equalizing the consequent. Okay. Now see, so we'll be doing both steps, and whichever steps you are comfortable with, you can use that step. Okay. So now, first step, what we'll do, we'll take the percentage of both these things. Sir, whenever we have to take the percentage, what we'll do, we'll simply multiply 100% with it. So now we can solve it. 2 4s are 8, 50, and then again 2 4, 2 2s are 4, 225. Okay. So now this will be 25 multiplied by 5, that is 1 to 5 divided by 2 percentage, or I can write 2 6 are 12, 2 2s are 4, 1 will be that side, so 2 5s are 10. So 62.5%. The first thing, 5 by 8 is equal to 62.5%. Now 3 by 4, what I will do, I will simply multiply 100% with it. Now 4 will divide, if we divide 100 by 4, we'll get 25. So 25 multiplied by 3 is equal to what, 75%. So who is greater between 75% and 65%? That is 75%. So which ratio will be greater? 3 by 4 will be greater. See, this is the first thing, this is the first step. Now the second step, what I have informed you, we will simply equalize this consequence. We'll simply equalize the consequence. Now here it is 8, here it is 4. So what you will be doing, either you can take the LCM and then equalize it, or you can simply see, if we multiply 2 over here, see, when you are multiplying 2 over here, you have to multiply 2 with the antecedent as well. Okay. So if we multiply 2 in this whole ratio, the new ratio will be 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6, 2 multiplied by 4 is equal to 8. Okay. So now the new ratio is what, 6 by 8. So now both the consequents are equal, and if I write it, it will be 5 by 8, now it will be 6 by 8. So what does this mean? This means out of 8 parts we are considering 6 parts, and here it means out of 8 parts we are considering 5 parts. So who or which ratio is higher? This ratio is higher, because here the antecedent is greater than the previous ratio. So now what is the greater value, or which ratio is greater? 3 by 4 is greater, because 3 by 4 is equal to 6 by 8. So whatever the question it is, whichever methodology you find is more simpler for you, or you can say you can calculate it faster, you should implement that. Okay. So both options I have given. Now the next question, sir, compare the ratio of 224 is to 36, 15 is to 20. Again, so we'll be solving it in both ways. So now what I can do, 24 by 36 multiply by 100%. So I can make it 2400 divided by 36. So it can be 6 6 is a 36, 6 4 is a 400. Then again, sir, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. So it is, sir, 200 by 3. So I can write 3 6 are 18, 3 6 are 18, 2 by 3 percentage. So this is the percentage. We know from our previous classes how to calculate the percentage. Now this question, sir, 15 by 20 multiplied by 100%. 20, if I divide 100 by 20, I will get 5 remainder, and 15 into 5 is equal to 75%. So which from these both ratios, which is greater? This one is greater, right? So our answer is 15 is to 20. Now the second methodology, 24 is to 36, 15 is to 20. What I told you in the previous class, let's find out the LCM. So what we can do, sir, this can be 4 9s are 36, 4 5s are 20. Now I can't do anything about this. So sir, it will be 4 5 20 into 9 is equal to 180. So LCM is 180. Okay, so if I divide 180 by 36, the remainder will be 5. So if I multiply 5 with it, and now here it is 20, right? So 4 5s are 20. So if I divide 180 by 20, I will get my remainder 9. So if I multiply 9 over here, my consequence will be equal. Let's see how. So 24 multiplied by 5 is equal to 120 is to 36 multiplied by 5 is equal to 180. Sir, 15 multiplied by 9 is equal to 135. 20 multiplied by 9 is equal to 180. So now you can see both the consequents are equal. Yes, sir. What we did, we first find out the LCM, then we divide the consequent with the LCM, and the remainder, whatever the remainder we receive, we multiplied with that particular ratio. Okay, now you see, in this equation or in this ratio, both consequents are equal. So whichever antecedents is greater, that ratio will be greater. So whichever antecedent is greater after equalizing the consequence, that ratio will be greater. Okay, so this is the thing you need to understand. So whichever thing you are comfortable with, whichever method you are comfortable with, you can utilize that in the examinations. Okay, now this is a homework for you. Now what you will be doing this, so first thing we will be doing, you will arrange these things from smallest to largest. Okay, now basics of proportion. So what I told you, so in proportion we'll be comparing two ratios. Okay, so first thing, here it is written as if A by B is equal to 45, if A by B is equal to 45, then and A is equal to 16, find out B. What is B? Okay, let me tell you something. If something is written like this, A by B is equal to 45, it can be written like 45 by 1, because if we divide 45 by 1, it will be 45 again. So you can write it 45 by 1. Now here it is given that A is 16, so we'll add, so we will put the value of A here. So 16 by B is equal to 45 by 1. Now what will happen? This consequent will be multiplied with the antecedent in the right hand side, and this consequent will be multiplied with the antecedent in the left hand side. So it will be 16 multiplied by 1 is equal to B into 45. So B into 45 is equal to 16 multiplied by 1 is equal to 16. Now B is equal to 16 by 45. First thing. So what we remember now? So we remember if A by B is equal to C by D, then A multiplied by D is equal to B multiplied by C. You need to remember this. Okay, so that's the formula we are using here. Okay, so now can we solve this ratio? No sir, we can't solve this ratio. So the answer will be 16 is to 45. Okay, now solve the proportion. 3 by x is equal to 5 by 15. So it is written as 3 by x is equal to 5 by 15. So what we can do, can we simplify this question, or can we simplify the ratio? Yes sir. Sir, if I divide 5 by 5, I will get 1. If I divided 15 by 5, I will get the remainder 3. So this ratio can be written in the simplest form of 1 by 3. Yes sir, it can be written. Now we can write 3 by x is equal to 1 by 3. Now x will be multiplied here, 3 will be multiplied here. So 3 into 3 is equal to x multiplied by 1. So x is equal to 3 into 3, that is 9. So what is the answer? 9 is the answer. What we did, we simplified the ratio, because the shorter will be the number, it will be easier for us to make the calculation. Okay, so second thing we learn here, always simplify the ratio to ease calculation. Okay, this is the thing we should remember. Now here it is given, sir, it is given 2x plus 3 divided by 4 is equal to 5x minus 7 divided by 8. So now you do not have to worry about it, things are really simple. Okay, what we'll be doing, so now this thing will be multiply here, this thing will be multiply here, right? Yes sir, it is right. So 2x plus 3 multiply by 8 is equal to 5x minus 7 multiply by 4. You can do this, or what we can do, sir, this can be written as 2x plus 3 by 4 is equal to 5x minus 7 divided by 8. Yes sir, it can be written. Sir, can I bring this to this side and can I take it this to this side? Yes, you can. So 2x plus 3 by 5x minus 7 is equal to 4 by 8. I can write it this way. Yes sir, you can write it this way. So sir, what is the formula for this? Sir, if A by B is equal to C by D, if it is written like this, then you can write A by C is equal to B by D, or you can write it as D by B is equal to C by A. So that's the formula you need to remember. So now we have two methodologies. Okay, first here 8 into 2x, that is 16x, plus 8 into 3, that is 24, is equal to 5x into 4, that is 20x, minus 7 into 4, that is 28. Now if I will take 16x to this side, so it will be 20x minus 16x, and if minus 28 will come to this side, it will be 24 plus 28. So now 20x minus 16x is equal to 4x. I hope you know this. 24 plus 28 is equal to 52. So now x is equal to what? Sir, 52 by 4. Or if I solve this, it will be 252 by 2 is equal to 26. 4 by 2 is equal to 2. Or it can be written as 1, 3. Okay. Or you can simply divide it by 4 13s are 52. Okay, x is 13 here. Now in this question what will happen? Sir, 4 by 8 is given. Can we simplify it? Yes sir, we can simplify it. If we divide 4 by 4, we will get 1. If we divide 8 by 4, it will get 2. So the new equation is 1 by 2. Sir, it can be written as 2x plus 3 divided by 5x minus 7 is equal to 1 by 2. So now 2 will be multiplied here, 5x minus 7 will be multiplied here. So it will be 2x plus 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 5x minus 7 multiplied by 1. Yes sir, that's clear. So 2 into 2x is equal to 4x. 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. 5x into 1 is equal to 5x. Minus 7 into 1 is equal to minus 7. Now 4x will come this side. So sir, 5x minus 4x is equal to minus 7 will come this side. 6 plus 7. So when positive will come to this side, to the other side, it will be minus, and when minus will come to the other side, it will be plus. Okay, so now sir, 5x minus 4x is equal to x, 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. Sir, in the both the cases the answer is 13. So now what you should be doing, see, in most of the cases this calculation may get tougher. Okay, so you should be utilizing this step. This is the better approach because we are solving it. Okay, because if this is a bigger number, if this whole thing is a bigger number, then it will be tough for you to calculate. But if I simplify this whole thing, it will be easier for all of you. Okay, I hope this is clear to each and every one of you now. So it is written as solve the proportion, that is 3 by 4 divided by 1 by 2 is equal to x by 6. So first we need to solve this, right? So this can be written as 3 by 4 multiply 1 will be multiply here, then 2 will be multiplied with 3 is equal to x by 6, or 3 2s are 6, 4 4s are 4, x is equal to 6. Now this can be shortened, right? So this can be written as x by 6 is equal to, if I divide 6 by 3 I will get 6 by 2 I will get 3, and if I divide 4 by 2 I will get 2. So now this is the shortest possible form. Yes sir, this is the shortest possible form. Now if I multiply or cross multiply it, I'll get my answer. So I can write 2x is equal to 6 into 3, that is 18, or x is equal to 18 by 2, that is 9. Now see, in these cases what is happening, if here antecedent is unknown, okay, what we are doing, we are taking again 2 over here, then we are dividing it again. So we can simply do here x is equal to 3 into 6 by 2. We can simply do this step. We do not need to do this step, we can skip it. So why we are doing this? So if a by b is equal to c by d, then we can write a is equal to b into c by d, or we can write c is equal to a into d by b. Okay, so that's the formula. Or we can write b is equal to a into d by c, or d is equal to c into b by a. So this can be done. You need to remember this. Okay, now we'll be solving what is compound ratio, and in order to understand it better, let me start with a question. Okay, sir, it has written found the compound ratio of 3 by 4 and 2 by 5. 3 by 4 and 2 by 5, right? So it will be 3 into 2, 4 into 5. So the compound ratio will be 6 by 20. Or what we can do, we can simplify this here. So 4 can be divided by 2, 2 can be divided by 2, I will get 1. So it will be 3 into 1, that is 3, and 2 into 5 is equal to 10. So the compound ratio of 3:4 and 2:5 is 3 by 10. So now if I have to derive a formula, what I will do? So if it is given, find the compound ratio of a by b and c by d, it will be a multiplied by c, b multiplied by d. If it is in 3 numbers, a by b, c by d and e by f, it will be same, a into c into e divided by b into d into f. So this is the formula of compound ratio. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now the next question, sir, find the compound ratio of 4 by 7, 3 by 5 and 2 by 9. So 4 by 7 can be written as 4 by 7, 3:5 can be written as 3 by 5, and 2:9 can be written as 2 by 9. So this can be solved as 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 divided by 7 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 9. Now 3 can be divided by 3, I can get 9, and 9 can be divided by 3, I can get 3. Now can this be shortened? Can this be simplified? No sir, it can't be simplified. So 4 into 1 into 2 is equal to 8, 7 into 5 is equal to 35, into 3 is equal to 105. So this is the compound ratio of 4:7, 3:5 and 2:9. Okay, I hope this is clear to all. Now what it has written, that a is to b is equal to 2:3. Okay, b is to c is equal to 4:5. Now I can write this thing, I can write a by b is equal to 2 by 3. Here I can write b by c is equal to 4 by 5. Okay, so what we can do here, it has asked a is to c, right? So if I convert b into a, I can get my answer. Yes sir, you are right. So if I have to find out a is to c, I need to change b into a, right? I need to change b into a. So here a is to b is equal to 2 by 3. So sir, can I write B will multiply here. 3A is equal to 2B, or I can solve it, B is equal to 3 by A divided by 2. Yes sir, you can write it. You can write 3 by A divided by 2. And if I put the value of V over here, it will be 3 by A, 3A by 2 divided by C is equal to 4 by 5. Or it can be written as 3A by 2C is equal to 4 by 5. Now 3 will come here, 2 will come that side. Okay, so it can be A by C is equal to 2 4s are 8, 3 5s are 15. I can write A is to C ratio is 8 is to 15, right? I can do that. But this is a very, if the numbers are tough, if the numbers are larger, then this methodology may or may not work. Then this methodology may or may not work. And it's a simplest form of solving this question. What we can do, smartest or the smartest approach will be A is to B is to C. You will write like this. Okay. Now what is A is to B? Sir, it is 2 is to 3. Sir, what is B is to C? Sir, it is 4 is to 5. Now if I equalize B over here, then my problem is solved. If I equalize B over here, my problem will be solved. So what I should do, in order to equalize both the B's, I will simply multiply whatever it is given here, I will multiply here. So 3 will be multiplied over here. Now in order to equalize this, so 4 will be multiplied over here. Why I am multiplying 4 over here? Because by multiplying 4, 4 3 will be 12. Now here multiplying 3, it will be 12. So now B will be equal. So once it equal, I can directly find the relation between A and C. Okay. So now whatever will be multiplied in the consequent, that the same number will be multiplied in the antecedent, and whatever will be multiplied in the antecedent, the same number will be multiplied with the consequent. So this can be written as A is to C, B is to C is equal to 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, here 3 4s are 12, and 3 5s are 15. And this whole thing can be written as 8 is to 12 is to 15. So this is what A is to B is to C. So now if anyone asks me what is A is to C, I will simply answer 8 by 15. This is the smartest possible way or the smartest approach that you can use in solving such questions. Okay, if it is a partnership question, it is given that the A is to B is something like this, B is to C is something like this, and C is to D is something like this, then you can use this approach, and this approach will be more beneficial in those questions. Okay, if you are having hard time in understanding this, pause this video here, take it back, then again watch this whole thing, because this is the smartest approach that will be utilized when solving partnership questions. Okay, sir, P is to Q and Q is to R is given. Sir, P is to Q is given 3 is to 5. Sir, Q is to R given 2 is to 3. Find out P is to R. So what should I do, sir? So as you have already said, I will write it like this. P is to Q is to R. PQ 3 is to 5. QR 2 is to 3. Sir, 5 and 2 are not equal. So what I do? I'll multiply 2 with here and I will multiply 5 here. Okay. So now if I multiply 2 over here, so I will multiply with 3 as well, because whatever will be multiplied with the consequent, the same thing will be multiplied with the antecedent, and whatever will be multiplied with the antecedent, the same number should be multiplied with the antecedent. Otherwise this ratio will not be the same. Okay, so if I multiply 2 here and if I multiply 5 here, the new equation will look like this. 2 into 3 is equal to 6, 2 is to 5 is equal to 10, 5 into 2 is equal to 10, and 5 is into 3 is equal to 15. Okay, and this can be written as 6, 10, 15. Okay, so what is the ratio of P is to R? So it is 6 is to 15, or I can write 6 by 15. Okay, or this can be simplified, it can be 3 2s are 6, 3 5s are 15, that is 2 by 15. Here we are simplifying it, but we should not simplify this thing here. If there is an option to simplify this over here, you should simplify it over here. Okay, if there is an option to simplify the whole things over here, you can directly simplify over here. Otherwise you can do it here as well. Okay, so I hope this is clear now. Now, if the ratio of boys to girls in a school is 3:5 and the ratio of girls to teacher is 5:2, then find the ratio of boys to teacher. Now, sir, boys to girls is 3:4. Sir, girls to teacher is equal to 5:2. And it has asked about boys to teacher. We have to find out the ratio between boys to teacher. Sir, as we know, it should be written like this. Boys is to girls 3:4. Girls to teacher 5:2. So these whole things are not equal. So what I will do, I will multiply 4 with 5 and 5 with 4 to make it equal. So now 5 will be multiplied here, 4 will be multiplied here. So if I multiply 5 into 3, it will be 15. Okay, so 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20. And if I multiply 4 here, 4 5s are 20 and 4 2s are 8. So the new ratio is 15:20:8. Now if I have to find out boys to teacher, then it is 15/8. Or if it is asked teacher to boy ratio, then it will be 8/15. You just need to remember this. I hope this much is clear. Okay? Yes, sir. Find the compound ratio of this. This is a homework. I have already solved such questions. If the ratio of speed of 3 cars 4:5:6 and the ratio of the times taken by them to cover the distance is 3:4:5, find the compound ratio of their distance. See, this is a very tricky question. First thing we need to understand that speed is equal to what? Distance by time, right? Distance by time. Now, if something is given like this, that speed of 3 cars 4:5:6, and it is given that the time of 3 car 3:4:5. If it is given like this, what we can do? We can do it in both ways. We can simply solve these questions by, see, if speed is equal to distance by time, we can write distance is equal to speed into time. So we can find distance of 3 cars is, simply multiply this, 4 into 3 is equal to 12, 5 into 4 is equal to 20, 6 into 5 is equal to 30. We can do it this way, and then we can solve this whole thing. We can simplify this. If we divide it by 2, it will be 6, it will be 10, and it will be 15. We can do it this way. So whenever it has asked about the compound ratio of their distance, we'll be following this method. Okay. Now the next question, dividing quantity concepts. See, if you have seen the lecture of mixture and alligation, you will be easily able to understand it. But if you're a beginner or if you're a repeater having a difficulty in understanding the concept, then you must understand this. What is it written? Sir, divide 600 between A and B in the ratio of 3:6. Sir, A is to B, the ratio will be 3:2. That means what? A will get 3 parts and B will get 2 parts. So how many parts I will have to make first? I will have to make total of 3 plus 2, that is 5 parts. Because unless until I make 5 parts, I can't give 3 parts to A and 2 parts to B. That's right. Yes, sir. Now this 5 parts is equal to what? 600, because that will be divided among them. So 5 part is equal to 600. So sir, one part will be 600 divided by 5. So it will be 5 ones are 5, 1 0, 5 twos are 10 and it's 0. So one part is 120. So now A will get how many parts? 3 part. So he will get 3 into 120, that is 360. B will get 2 parts. So he will get 2 into 120 because one part is 120. So 2 part will be 2 into 120, that is 240. So how much A is getting? 360. How much B is getting? 240, and A plus B is equal to 600. Clear? Yes, sir. One more question. Sir, a sum of 1200 is to be divided among X and Y in the ratio of 7 is to 5. X and Y, 7 parts to X, 5 parts to B. So how many total parts? 7 plus 5. That is 12 parts. Total number of parts. And this is equal to what, sir? 1200. So sir, one part will be equal to 1200 divided by 12. 12 12s are 1. It is equal to 100, sir. So share of X will be, sir, 7 parts, that is 7 into 100 is equal to 700. Y share of Y will be, sir, 5 into 100, that is 500, sir. Is it clear? Yes. Next question. Sir, a bag of apple is divided between two friends in the ratio of 4 is to 1. How many apples does each friend get? Simple as it is. Total first two friends, 4 is to 1. Okay. So the total number of parts will be 4 plus 1. That is 5. And this 5 part is equal to what, sir? 80. So one part will be equal to, sir, 80 divided by 5. That is 16. So if one part is 16, one friend will get 16, but other friend is getting 4 parts. So that part will be 4 into 16 is equal to 64. So one friend will get 64 apples, another friend will get 16 apples. Okay. Yes. Now, this is a homework for all of you. What it has written, divide 7000 among A, B, C in the ratio of 3 is to 4 is to 5. You have to find out how many, what is the total number of parts, then you can find out the ratio. See, here it has four options are there, but that does not mean it will be complicated. It is easy. A is to B is to C is to D is given as 5 is to 3 is to 2 is to 1. That is what? Total number of parts will be 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11. This 11 is equal to what? 9600. So sir, one part is equal to what? 9600 divided by 1. Sorry, 11. Now it has asked about the share of C. One part is this much. Share of C is 2 parts. So 2 parts will be 9600 divided by 11 into 2. That is 19200 by 11. If we solve this, we'll get the answer. And it has asked about the share of D. So share of D is 1. So it will be 9600 divided by 11. As simple as that. Now, so two numbers are in the ratio of 5 is to 8. If their sum is 65, that is what? So two ratio are in 5 is to 8. So can I write the total of both the number is 5 plus 8? That is 13. Yes, you can write. Now this 5 plus 8 is what? 65. So 13 is equal to 65. So 1 will be 65 by 13. That is 5. Now if one part is 5, 5 part will be 5 into 5. That is 25. 8 part will be 8 into 5. That is 40. So both the numbers are 25 and 40. You will solve it this way. You will consider this number as 5 and 8, then we'll start solving it. Okay. And this will be, and these type of things that I'm teaching you right now, these things will be implemented in mixture and alligation, partnerships, profit and loss, simple interest and compound interest, percentage questions. So that's why ratio and proportion is much important. So in this question it has written, sir, a sum of 18,000 is divided among A, B, C. So how many persons are there? A, B and C. Sir, A gets, A share is twice that of B. So whatever share is of B, A will get twice of B. Now, and B share is thrice that of C. So whatever share is of C, if C has X amount, B will get 3 3 times of x, that is 3x. Now what will A get? 2 times of B. So if B is getting 3x, A will get what? 2 into 3x, that is 6x. So if I have to find the ratio, I can write it like this. Sir, A is 2, B is 2, C will be, C is getting x, B will get 3x, because B's share is thrice that of C, and A will get twice of B, that is 6x. Now this is equal to what? 18,000. So if I add this, this is equal to 18,000. So 6 plus 3 plus 1, that is 10. 10x is equal to 18,000. X is equal to 18,000 divided by 10. So 0, 0 will cross out. It is 1800. So the share of C is what? 1800, because X is 1800. And share of B is 3 into X. That is 3 into 1800. That is 5400. And share of C is equal to what? 6 into X. That is 1800. So if we solve this, we'll get, so this is the way we need to solve this, and if we solve this, we'll get the answer to the whole question. The answer to the whole question. Okay. Sorry, 108. 10800. Here it is 5400. Okay. Here it is 1800. I hope now you are clear. Okay. Sir, divide 40. See, all these things are, whatever I am telling you right now, whatever I am teaching you right now, all these things are being asked in percentage profit and loss questions. So you need to understand each and every equation very carefully now. So divide 4800 between x and y such that x gets 1000 more than b. X gets 1000 more than y. What does this mean? If y gets whatever amount, if we add 1000 to that, that is the amount that is x will be getting, right? Whatever amount y gets, if I add 1000 to it, I will get x. For an example, A and B are two friends, and it has written that A gets 1000 rupees more than B. Okay, and if I say B gets 500 rupees, so how much amount A will get? So A will get 1000 rupees more than B. That means 500 plus 1000 is equal to 1500. So what is A getting? A is getting 1500, like that. Here X will get 1000 more than Y. Okay. Now what it has written? It has written that 4800 will be divided between X and Y. So now X is equal to what? Y plus 1000. And if Y value is not known, so what I should do? I'll simply write it this way. Sir, X plus Y will get 4800, sorry, and the value of X is what? Y plus 1000, and Y will be remain same. So this is equal to, sir, 4800. So I can write Y plus Y, that is 2Y plus 1000 is equal to 4800, or I can write 2y is equal to 4800 minus 1000, and this is equal to 3800, or I can, sir, simply write y is equal to 3800 divided by 2. 2 ones are 3, 2 ones are 2, 1 9, 2 nines are 18. It is 1900. So, sir, the share of y, here we can write share of y is equal to 1900. Now share of x is equal to what? 1900 plus 1000, that is 2900. Now it has asked what is the ratio of their share. That means x is to y will be 2900 is to 1900. Now 0 0 will cross out. It is 29 is to 19. So this is the answer. See, for your understanding, I have to simplify each and every step. But if you start solving this question, if you solve few more questions, you will be very acquainted, and this will be very easy for all of you. Okay. Now the question: if the ratio of boys to girls in a class is 4:5, if there are 36 boys, how many girls are there? See, boys to girls. It can be written as boys is to girls, or it can be written as boys by girls, right? What is it given? The ratio is 4 is to 5. And how many boys are there? So if the ratio is 4 by 5 of boys and girls, so I can write 4 by 5 divided is equal to the value of boys, that is 36 by girls. I can write it this way. Yes sir, you can write it this way. Now this whole thing can be solved in two ways. First we can do what? We can simply crisscross. We can write 4 into girls is equal to 5 into 36, or girls is equal to 36 multiplied by 5 divided by 4. 4 9 is 36, 9 into 5 is equal to 45. So number of girls is 45. We can do this, or we can simply solve it like this. 4 by 5 is equal to 36 by girls. We can always divide antecedent by antecedent if there is an equal sign, and if we can always divide consequent by consequent. Okay, so now if I divide 4 by 4, I will get 1 as the remainder. If I divide 36 by 4, I will get 9 as the remainder. Now this whole equation is simplified, that is 1 by 5 is equal to 9 by girls. Okay, so I can now directly write girls. If 1 is multiplied with girls, so girls will be 9 is to 5, that is 9 into 5, that is 45. So the number of girls are what? 45. We do not have to do all these things. We can directly solve it like this, because if complicated numbers are there, it will be tough to multiply and solve all these questions. So we can directly cross multiply over here and solve the question. Okay, I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. So how many girls are there? 45 girls are there. Direct and inverse proportion. What the first thing we need to understand? Direct proportion. A is directly proportional to B. That means if B increases, A will increase. If B decreases, A will decrease. Okay. Whatever happens with A, the same will happens with B, or whatever happens with B, the same will happen with A. It can be written as this. And in mathematical, it can be written as, if A is directly proportional to B, it will be written as A is equal to a proportional constant K into B. K is what? K is proportional constant. Okay. This is called as direct proportion. What is inverse proportion? Inverse proportion is like this. A is inversely proportional to B. That means if B increases, A will decrease, and if B decreases, A will increase. Okay. Here B increases, A decrease, B decreases, A increase. Okay, and this can be written as A is equal to K into 1 by B, or K by B, or it can be written as AB is equal to K. This is how inverse proportional is written. Okay, now what it is saying, if 5 kg of apple cost 200, how much 8 kg of apple cost, assuming is directly proportional to the weight? See, if 5 kg apple cost 200, 1 kg of apple will be 200 divided by 5, that is 40, and 8 kg will be 40 into 8, that is 320. As simple as that, because the relation between the weight of the apple and the price is same. Okay, sir, a car travels 150 kilometer in 3 hours. A car travels 150 kilometer in 3 hours. How far it will travel in 5 hours at the same speed? So here distance what is given? 150 kilometers. What is time given? 3 hours. Sir, we know speed is equal to distance by time. So distance is 150 kilometer divided time 3. So the speed is, sir, 3 5 is a 50, 15. So 50 kilometer per hour. So it has asked, sir, how far it will travel in 5 hours. So in 50 kilometer per hour means what? In each hour he is traveling 50 kilometer. So in 3 hour it will travel 50 into 3 is equal to 150 kilometer. You can do it this way. Sorry, 50 into 5 in 5 hours. My bad. So in 5 hours it will travel 50 into 5, that is 250 kilometers. So that's the answer. So that's how you will be solving these questions. See, here in this particular question we are seeing the implementation of ratio and proportion in time, speed and distance as well. This is a time, speed, distance question. So this is how, or this is why the whole chapter of ratio and proportion is very important in terms of arithmetic. Sir, 6 workers can complete a job in 10 days. How many days will 8 workers take to complete the same job? What is it? What it's written? Sir, 6 workers completes job in 10 days, right? In how many days 8 workers complete the job? See, if 6 workers are working, they are taking 10 days, right? How, if I increase the number of workers, if I increase the number of workers, then the time taking, the time it is taking to complete the job will decrease, right? If workers are increased, time will decrease, right? That means what? Number of worker is inversely proportional to time. Yes, yes, sir, you are right. So I can write worker is equal to k by time. The same way we are calculating here the inverse proportionals. Yes, sir, you can write it that way. Or I can write worker into time will be always constant. Can we write it? Yes, sir. So number of worker into the time they are taking will always be a constant, right? So if I multiply the number of workers with time, the same value will come if I multiply with the workers and time here. So sir, I can write 6 workers taking 10 days. The same thing, this constant will be equal to 8 workers taking X days, because you do not know how much time they will take. So now I can solve it. X is equal to 6 into 10 divided by 8. So if I solve it, 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10, then 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. So sir, 3 into 5 is equal to 15 by 2 is by 2. So 15 by 2 is equal to 7 in 7.5 days. So the 8 workers can say solve or can complete the whole work in 7.5 days. That's how you should be, that's how you should be solving the question. That's how you should be solving the question. This is a time and work question, and we are implementing the methodology of ratio and proportion over here, and we are solving this question. Okay, now it's a homework for you. Very easy question, and this is a homework for you. This is a homework for you. Very silly question. A pump can fill a tank in 6 hours. If the rate of flow is doubled, how long will it take to fill the tank? See, understand this. What I'm saying, if speed is this, I'm taking this much time, right? If I increase the speed, that means to complete the whole task, my time will be less. If in order to read 2 pages of book, for an example, okay, or you can see in order to write 2 pages of note, okay, one student take 1 day, okay. If for that 2 pages of note, if I give this work to 2 students, they can complete this whole work in within half day, within 12 hours, because 2 students will be working on that. So that means what? If I increase the speed, the time taking to complete this task will drop, will be reduced, right? That means what? Here speed is inversely proportional to the time. Here speed is inversely proportional to the time, or I can write speed multiplied by time is equal to constant. Yes sir, you can write. So now with this thing, or with this concept, we'll be solving this. For an example, a pump can fill a tank in 6 hours. So if the speed of the pump is x and it is taking 6 hours, that will be equal to, if the rate of flow, if the speed of the tank is increased twice, doubled mean twice. So if it is increased twice, the time will, how much time it will take? So the time it will take, or this constant will be equal to this constant, right? Because speed and time is equal to constant. So in this case, in the both case, the constant will be same. Okay. Now if I solve it, I'll get time is equal to x multiplied by 6 is equal to 2x. X will cross out. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. So t is 3 hours. That means in 3 hours, if the speed is doubled, the time taken by tank will be half. So what is the note we should be taking here? The note we should be taking, if speed doubled, time taken will be halved, or 1 by 2. If speed tripled, 1 by 3, sorry 3 times. Time taken will be 1 by 3 of original, or I can write, if speed increases n times, time taken to complete the task will be 1 by n times. As simple as that. Here it was doubled, right? That is twice. So the time taken will be 6 into half, 1 by 2. That is 3 hours. See, this is the fastest way we can solve these questions. So you need to note down these things. You need to note down these things. Let me change a different color to circle it down. So this is the formula you should be noting down. Okay. Now let's solve the next question. So this is the new concept for all of you. So whenever it will be written as mean proportion of the two number, will be write mean proportion is equal to a into b square root of a into b. And if it will write a and b and c are in continued proportion, that is a is to b is to c, okay, then c is equal, a is to b, see this will be written as this, a is to b is to b is to c. Then we can write the third proportion. The third proportion is what? C. C is equal to b square by a. So C is the third proportion. Okay. And mean proportion is a multiplied by b, so square root of a multiplied by b. You need to remember this, because these type of questions are being asked repetitively in tier 1 and tier 2 as well. Okay. Now find the mean proportion of 9 is to 16. So it is square root of 9 into 16, that is 144. Square root of 144 is equal to 12. How simply we are solving this? Because we know the formula. Find the mean proportion of 4 into 25. 4 and 25 square root. 25 into 4 is equal to 100. Square root of 100 is equal to 10. Answer. Find the mean proportion between 25 and 16. This is a homework for you. 8 and 18 are the first and second terms. Find the third proportional. See, what I told you. If A, B, C are in proportion, then C is equal to what? B square by A, right? So the third proportional C will be here 8 square by 18. Sorry, B. My apology. B is 18 here. So 18 square by 8, right? Yes, sir, you are right. So 18 square is equal to what? 324 by 8. Or in order to solve this whole question, you can do it like this. 18 into 18 by 8. Whichever way you find it comfortable to solve the question. Now, if I divide 8 by 4, I will get 2. If I divide this, I will get 4 8s are 32 and 4 1s are 1. 4 1s are 4. Okay. So it is 81 by 2, or I can write 40.5. Okay. So C is 81 by 2. Here you can solve it as well. If I solve this, if I divide 8 by 2, I will get 4. If I divide 18 by 2, I will get 9. Again, if I divide 4 by 2, I will get 2. If I divide 18 by 2, I will get 9. So it is 9 9s are 81 divided by 2, that is 40.5. So this is the answer. Okay. Now, find the mean proportional of two numbers, that is 6 and one number is the mean proportion between. See, here in the question it is written the mean proportion between two numbers is 6. Here mean proportion is equal to 6. One number is 9. Other number we have to find it out. So what we know? Mean proportion is equal to square root of A multiplied by B, right? So here mean proportion is 6, which is equal to square root of 9 into the second number. So if I have to take out the square root here, so I have to I have to square both sides. So 6 square is equal to 9 into B. So 9 into B can be written as 6 square, that is 36. 6 into 6 is equal to 36. Or B can be written as 36 divided by 9, that is equal to 4. So 4 is the right answer. You need to read the questions properly, because sometimes what happens, while you are reading 25-50 questions, you may skip the lines in between. Okay, your brain will not work, and that's how you will end up scoring a negative mark. Okay, so you need to understand the questions, each and every questions carefully. So in this question, what it is written, sir, if x is the mean proportion between 7 and 28, what is the value of x? So mean proportion is equal to x. What is the formula mean proportion? Square root of multiplication of a and b. Sorry, it is 28. So I can write 7 into 28 is 7 into 4. Now square root of 7 into 4, that 7 into 7, that is 49. This can be written as 49 into 4, right? This can be written as 49 into 4. So square root of 49 is 7, square root of 4 is equal to 2, so it is 14. So the mean proportion is, or the x is 14. You can solve it this way. We're just simplifying the square root thing. Okay. Now, sir, find the third proportion of 1 by 2 and 1 by 4. So A is equal to 1 by 2. B is equal to 1 by 4. Sir, as you know, third proportion C is equal to B square by A. So it will be 1 by 4 square divided by 1 by 2. Right? So 1 by 4 square can be written as 1 by 16 divided by 1 by 2. Or this can be written as 1 into 2 will multiply here, 16 into 1. Now 2 can be cross out both sides. 2 2s are 1, 2 8s are 16. So it is 1 by 8. So the third proportion is 1 by 8. Are you getting my point? Yes, sir. Because this is the formula we are using, then we are simplifying the ratio here and we are finding the answer. Okay. So guys, that was all about ratio and proportion. I hope now all your doubt is clear about ratio and proportion. I will be sharing this PPT without annotation in the SSC Monk Telegram channel. You can solve it and get a good grip for ratio and proportion. Let's see you in the next class. Your schedule, whatever the classes will be taken till 14th January has been shared in our Telegram channel. You can refer to that. Share this video with all your friends. Subscribe to this channel and share how you like this video. Let's see you in the next class.